jump in game. Seems for a relatively squishy roster for Team Johnson. It's a lot of your very standardized characters there, and you have a lot of squishy ones coming into the fold there too, specifically the Anarchy and the Nyx in the fold. It's kind of similar for the guys over on the right side too for Team TBA. The only really tanky character that they have on their team is going to be Scale Bearer, so both teams going with a very squishy roster.
Yeah, I'm interested that Team Johnson doesn't have at least one tank, some kind of clear a point kind of character where TBA has a scale bearer, somebody who can charge in, charge a quad, charge the soul spawn, just kind of clear out a zone. So it'll be interesting to see how Team Johnson adjusts to that.
And again, just making sure we get everybody loaded in and whatnot and get through the warm-up. I think we pretty much have everybody into the server now, so it'll be starting in about 10 seconds. And then we can jump into combat here. We get to see if the tankier roster comes out on top for TBA. If having that Scale Bearer is going to help them out. We've seen a lot of fun things being done with Scale Bearers today, including good defenses, but the lack of a clutch on both teams is interesting, and we will have to see how that plays out when we actually get into holding the points. Look at this. Clamp is going to immediately pop his Doa to try and do some damage, and he is doing that damage big time. RLB going down. Gets the assist on the Spectre, frags out on the Kelly as well, wipes the board clean right at the start, and as long as his respawns don't get over here quickly enough, they should be able to get the soul as well off of that. Beautifully done by Clamp on the start of the match here.
Yeah, they just cleared out that whole area. Like, no challenge for the soul to get this easy.
Now they're going to be able to push into it. Clamp is in a little bit of trouble here as his teammates are nowhere to be seen. He's got the Nyx sitting up behind him a little bit, but now as more move in to try and get control over this one, Sane trying to run around it as well and make sure he runs interference on the outside. His teammates do have decent control, but no, the fight is turned around a little bit by RLB. Thankfully, Sane moves in, saves the day a little bit, and as the respawns do push forward, they are able to keep control of it, and they'll continue channeling on their obelisk up at 20% now after they get finally some solid control going.
Yeah, it's a little hectic early on, but looks like Team Johnson's starting to settle in on their defense and establish control here. So, TBA's gotta adjust, regroup, get some weapons, get some stack, and push in there together. They should not be trickling in there one at a time right now. Team Johnson has good position. 3 guys up top with high ground. So take that 4.
Into the next fight we should be going in a moment here. Sane trying his best to hold on as he leaps in it. Oh, nicely done actually. He got launched forward there, was still able to pick up a kill. However, he'll finally get taken down by the Ranger from the enemy team. Trying to trade back some of these frags, but the soul now being stolen off the ground. Not for very long, however. No one has reclaimed it just yet. In fact, Necrophage just is going to get it back under his control in the stealth as well as soon as he gets it back onto the point. Resets the 3-second counter for the pickup there, and does allow for the guys over here on the Team Johnson to, pretty good control of this one.
Yeah, they need power up here is huge. If they want to get any momentum away from Team Johnson right now, TBA needs his power up. I mean, it's going to be a quick round if they don't get it.
Sane still trying to hold on as well here into middle, but oh my goodness, the charge moves in right at the very end of it. The protection moves in, but Sane still managed to get it, so a bit unfortunate for the red team Scale Bearer there. They're not going to be able to steal that away so easily. Sane has it, and it's sitting on the defense, letting Sane just leap onto this point, take any fight that he wants to here, and basically no consequence upon that. So nicely played by Sane. He's going to be able to jump on that now. And once again, just completely pushing TBA off the point. They're not even going to get close to this one, and it's looking likely now that the guys from Johnson would be able to push this very easily up to 100%.
Yeah, that was clutch. I agree. It's very clutch by Sane to jump on the protection right as it spawned. Be able to run away, ran back to his point. Didn't have the good sense to not sit around and battle it out, right? Just took protection back to where he could defend and put his team in a great position right now. So it looks like they might close out 100-0 based on how things are going.
Yeah, RLB, one of the last players. Now Spectre is going to try to make a run inside here. It's looking like he can actually get this, so he is going to be able to steal the soul. Now you got to get outside with it. He missed the toss, went right into a blue team's hands, and now they've got it again. MattKelly making one of the last attempts. He does have the Scale Bearer with him, but goodbye to that Scale Bearer. Goodbye to MattKelly as well, and everyone on the red team's gone down to Clamp. He did some massive damage with the rocket at range, and indeed, 100-0 in round number 1. Dominance from Team Johnson.
Loving the positioning from Team Johnson there on defense. The way they were really utilizing the high ground area with rocket launcher, good weapon selections, and just laying waste to everything below them. And then, of course, the good secure power ups to make sure your team can't do any kind of reversal of momentum, and you just keep the pressure on at that point. So, good job. They got that initial cap. It always starts out a little hairy. They nailed it down and didn't look back.
Carnage Just try to dodge combat a little bit there. They're not going to get the board wipe that they got at the beginning of the last round here, but they are still going to be able to move in and claim the initial soul pickup. Necrophagus is waiting now to carry it himself. He's got to be careful, though, as he's on the Nyx and can't actually run away from that. Spectre moves forward. He is able to steal it away himself, and now is trying to run it into the church, but no, the blue team, Clamp, now steals it away, and he also kills his opponent there, so they are once again going to run into the church with it, take control of Obelisk A, and now they're the ones that once again take the point of their own choice and just completely push off the red team. They're not even going to make an initial attempt to steal this back. It's going to be easy.
Yeah, you can feel Team Johnson just winning these battles, winning these fights. You know, putting pressure on their opponents, and again the positioning. You can see the recognition of they have a plan. You know, you can see on defense, you see how they're getting 3 guys up top. You got Carnage who's a little weak, so he's looking to recover, but he's still up top in a good defensive position. You know, just overall, even though he got railed there and everything, still is a good position to be up top. And, they just really, you can see their approach. They really do have a plan put together. So it's up to TBA to kind of disrupt. They need to take that high ground.
Team making a push now over to the Soul, and Spectre is going to be the one that steals it away. Nicely done, using the rocket to leap forward too. He's got a great path going. I don't think anybody from the side of Johnson is actually going to be able to stop this, but they will be able to get over to the other point faster than him and try to get in the way of it. And oh no, what's even worse, Spectre missed the jump, so we can see Carnage just going in with a Dire Orb. He throws the orb back in the other direction. His teammate's going to be able to pick it up, but Sane does go down quickly. Thankfully, Carnage leaps back into the fray, steals the orb back for himself. He's got a charge coming in this direction, so he's got to be careful, but teammates are there to help out with that one, and Carnage is just barely going to make it back over here to the point with only about 10 HP remaining.
Power up coming up next. So this is big. I mean, if they want to turn anything around here on Team Johnson, they need to begin with that power up.
Yeah, Sane's going to be the one that moves in to claim that here. So that just goes right back over to point A. And I mean, this is going the same way as round 1, unfortunately. Attempt here from the guys on TBA to get themselves close to the point, but I mean, they're just getting ripped to shreds.
Ran around the corner into a Sane with protection.
Yeah, it's just not looking good for TBA, to say the least here. They're not even getting close to this one. They're stuck in middle.
Johnson, yeah, they're looking sharp, man. I mean, even when, like I said, when they're backing away and the positions they're taking. I mean, you can see how they kind of spread out through the room, and they got the nice high ground, and that's really hard to move into an environment like that. So you can forget about moving in there by yourself or even as two. You really have to come in with force and as a group.
Nicely done from Sane, holding the barrier here as the power up does expire, but it doesn't matter. Sane's allowed to go off there, and even when he falls down, Clamp does move in to claim the rest of the kills on that point. That's for a quick cleanup. 81% now for the guys over here on Team Johnson, and they are about to end this match 200-0, not letting their opponents get a single tick on their respective point here. Last little bits trying to move in to try and resist this cap, but it's just not happening here in its current form.
Yeah, an excellent rocket play too. I mean, just all of it. It's good positioning and good, good aim, good mouse control, good movement. I mean, they're really putting it all together. You can tell they're coordinating and communicating well over the voice comms. So they're really on it right now. They're putting it on these guys. I really don't see how how TBA can turn it around at this point. I mean, it's really looking dire for them.
Yeah, that's the first time we've seen this today, actually, I think, where one team ran straight through and managed to claim it. Sane specific. I mean, obviously it doesn't indicate any level of skill, but I just noticed the level of Sane as well, his in-game level. Look at that. He's up to 93 already as well, so he's put in some time. The frag total should pretty much speak for themselves. Only one player on the entire TBA roster able to get over 10 frags in that match. Meanwhile, every single player on Team Johnson ended up over 10, and also the worst player for TBA was one frag below, or excuse me, the best player for TBA was one frag below the worst players on Team Johnson that were both tied at 12 frags each, while the best player on TBA only had 11. So a rough first map, to say the least. Now we have to hope that they can properly recover going into map number 2. Otherwise, this is going to be a quick one, and Johnson is going to be moving into a quick qualification for the NA Regionals.
Yeah, they just look dominant right there. Even not just the frag count, but even the kill death ratios for TBA just was definitely subpar. You could see, again, the fights they were losing the combat, and then on top of that, Johnson was getting in good position, making it even more difficult. So it's one thing you're having difficulties fighting somebody head to head. It's 10 times worse. When they have good position, a better arsenal, better stack. Now you're really up against it. You know what I mean? So, and they didn't get any power ups. I don't think they got one. Team Johnson was all over the power-ups. You just got to do a better job, especially going against a team like this. You got to do a good job about communicating and working together and trying to pick a guy off or something before you move into that area as a group. But you got to give Johnson a lot of credit for, setting up their position and defense correctly. And you can see how they had a strategy involved for guarding those jump pads, right? As soon as they tried to rush the jump pad, there was just a flood of rockets going over there, and they took a ton of damage. Even if they were to somehow push that position and get in, it was going to come at a major cost. And so they definitely had a plan. They had a strategy. They stuck to it. They stuck to the game plan. That's it, and worked together. They got a win, a dominant win in that map.
Well, it is time for our second map now. Once again, same as before, we're going over to the ruins of Riastradh. Nobody wanting to try out any of the newer maps just yet. We haven't seen anybody wanting to go over to Lockbox or anything like that just yet. So we still have yet to see that played out. Maybe we'll get that in a later matchup, of course. But still, ruins is going to be the second map choice here for these teams will work their way over to. And it is time for the pick. And to jump into the second map, we'll take a better look at see if the roster change up at all when we do get into the map. But it is time. So we are going to go and start to load into the ruins of Riastradh for our second map and see if TBA can put up a better fight at all or if Johnson is just going to crush this one in a quick 2-0.
Yeah, I would be surprised. It looks like I don't know if they're going map specific. It seemed like a team to compare them with Team Liquid a little bit. It seemed like they went more with the map specific. I'm curious if Necro's going to stick with Clutch this time. Okay, so they did change it up a little bit. Clutch and Scalebearer, they went a little heavier.
So a little bit heavier this time, and I think again that's actually like the same exact switch up that that Johnson made in the, or excuse me, not Johnson, that Liquid made back in the second map change up too. I think they did pretty much the same exact thing, moving away from their Nyx and one other player over now to the Scalebearer and Clutch picks. So kind of copying what Liquid did back over there too. So like we said before, Johnson, for those that are just joining us, had a very, very dominant closeout on map number 1, taking it without too much of a contest at all, coming in from the TBA roster. Now we have to hope with their own change-ups that things will look a little bit better for them going on to the ruins. Otherwise, they're going to face elimination here, and they'll have to try again in the next qualifier. And it will be Team Johnson pushing forward, earning their slot next to Team Liquid as the second team to qualify for regionals.
Round begins in 3, 2.
I really liked how Team Johnson looked in that first map. Let's see if they can continue that performance into the second map. They look really good. I want to see what the strategy is here.
And we're going to be starting it off here. Carnage doing some good work initially. This BJ from the other side is trying to delay a little bit as he's got the gauntlet out. Had a little bit of fun with Johnson on the opening seconds of the map. But still, it looks like blue team is going to get pretty good control over the spawn room. They're going to try to charge him, but it doesn't work. Carnage still gets the soul, and his teammate is able to block the damage of the charge for him. So greatly done by that teammate there. And Sane also picks up a double from downstairs. Carnage with an easy run just gets himself right over to Obelisk B and is going to be able to claim that nice and early here on this map.
Yeah, way to work together, and Sane coming in with the follow-up rockets in the hallway to get those 2 kills. I was watching this perspective. Really nice, just the way they covered everything and just came in and worked together. You can see they've been working on this, that's for sure. Been putting the time in.
Carnage is continuing to do work here as we do see Carnage taking out MattKelly, stole control over the soul for just a split second there, but it immediately did go back down. No management of success yet, and Sane just having fun over there, man. A double kill with the with the gauntlet there, able to do some serious work, and this is the same as some of the previous rounds so far. We would hope it wouldn't end in that way, but these guys need to regroup quickly and get themselves back in position to try and push back in, as at most they're going to have one attempt to get themselves the power up spawn coming up in about 30 seconds or so here. But if they whiff on that one and they lose it to the guys from Johnson, that's going to be bad. MattKelly jumping back up, trying to do some work with the LG, but Clamp says no to that one with a quick charge to deny the dual wield. And they pretty much hold off the wave with
I like it. I like it with the double BJ and the dual wield and just charge it right at him. Totally neutralized it. Good body block, and he got the kill.
15 seconds.
Guilte, well, who's going to get a nice little kill as he kind of hops up on top of the jump pad and steals one away from Team Johnson. Doesn't matter much in the grand scheme of things. And Johnson's smart. They're out in the open. Gets here, but the problem is he's very low. Only 50 HP to work off of here. Trying to do some work with the LG, but can't make it happen. And now power up goes onto the clutch. He gets the protection. And now they'll just hop right back over to their point to continue stacking up. Same as before. Just the guys on TBA just can't seem to get anything going for themselves here. No power-ups, no initial caps, no caps at all As this is now going to potentially go up to 300-0 if they can't steal this away and get it onto their point within the next couple of moments. They actually do take down the carry of the power up there for a second, but carnage, nicely done, hits one of his own, gets the double kill, and these direct rocket hits are beautiful from carnage. Hits another one to continue holding back the players from TBA. Now over to the rail, and even was about to teleport up close and personal to maybe go for another kill. Didn't do it there, but his teammates will mop up the point and continue to defend it, as now they're pushing well up towards 90% in round 1.
Yeah, they're just dominating this team. The Carnage just came in there with a major cleanup, total cleanup crew. I don't know what this team can do. I mean, it's not even a decision-making thing at this point. They're just getting outplayed. I mean, they really are.
There you go. Obelisk B goes down, and with that, round 1. Not really to anyone's surprise, to be honest, is going to go into the hands of the guys from Team Johnson, as they'll take control of it now, just 1 round away from victory. And they could potentially make the perfect run here. If they win this one without letting their opponents cap, that's going to be a 400-0 run, where they didn't let their opponents get a single percentage point at all. No time on their obelisk at all.
Very impressive, not letting them get anything. I mean, that's really good work by Team Johnson. And I think the reason they, with the clutch change, I think the quad area, the power-up area, I think they feel it's useful for securing that point on that map. So I think that might be part of the reason why they decided to make that switch.
Soul getting tossed around a lot here, currently under the control of the red team, but nobody really has it settled down just yet. Spectre, though, is going to sneak away, but so many gauntlet kills. Necro steals it at the last moment here as he's going to toss it. Can't toss it onto the point. He does have to leap onto it himself. Sane will move in there to make sure he cleans things up nice and easily as Necro leaps onto the point once again with the orb in hand. And with that, we will be able to see the guys from Team Johnson 4 rounds in a row now. They've claimed immediate control. Oh no, Necro's in a little bit of trouble, just getting launched across the map with the LG and jump pad combo. He survives for the time being, but he's going to be kind of in a hot spot here, so we're just going to sit back and play sniper for a bit until he can recover his health a bit better.
Again, just setting up a strong defense. You look at them just getting in position and, you know, working together, not overextending too much. And then we got the, you know, the power up coming up about 45 seconds, so expect Team Johnson to be all over that again.
Yeah, Spectre's going to make this run. Can they deny it? This could be it. This could be the stop, and oh no, there we go. Finally, after 3 rounds straight, we do see Spectre claiming the soul, getting it onto their obelisk here, and making the straight run. So the perfect play from the guys on Team Johnson has been denied here. Carnage is going to quickly steal it away, only let them get 10%, but that's an ugly 10%. That'll be a nice little black mark on what has otherwise been a perfect game from Team Johnson so far.
Well, I guess that's something TBA can take from this. You know, they avoided the shutout.
Yeah,
it's not looking good.
They didn't get completely destroyed. But moving into this, we are going to have the power-up spawning relatively soon as well. With that moving in, it's going to be, once again, Team Johnson that gets control over that one. So they'll be able to move in, get themselves the protection. And with the soul back under their obelisk as well, things are looking to repeat what we saw from the previous 3 rounds. Carnage is destroying people up close and personal here. Nicely done from him. Another direct rocket hit down for the 3rd. Can he get the 4th in the complete team wipe? Let's go. And there you go. Nicely played by Carnage. Just wipes the board clean of everyone from TBA as he rips through them again and again and again.
Just saw his teammates down there fighting and decided to, you know, drop right in there with protection and a rocket launcher and help everybody out. Great work.
And there's the 5th for a killing spree as well. He's just going to continue racking up these frags. The protection finally did expire, so he's not completely immune to damage anymore, but he's still dishing it out. Finally goes down to MattKelly. However, on the respawn here, could still do some work, as we do have them attempting to steal the soul for one last attempt. Moving in, he's just going to port up on top. Anyone here? Nope. His teammates are taking care of that well already, so not going to be too big of an issue here. This is a deal with this one Anarchy and maybe a Ranger leaping back into the fight, but he'll win that one, as he has 2 to 3 teammates surrounding him and assisting him with this fight. 84% now. Once again, Team Johnson just pushing forward on this round without too much trouble. And same as before, TBA kind of just going in. They're trying. Nicely done. Carnage actually gets a teleport kill there. These players are trying to go in one by one. It's looking like they're attempting to go in as a team, but it's just they keep getting split up by individual players from Team Carnage, and that just or Team Johnson, excuse me, and that just continues to destroy their attempts every single time. One last attempt, they will steal it off at 99%, but Carnage leaps in there, drops that down. Giet actually does get away with the soul though, gets at the very least into the mega health room, but he's gonna have to immediately fight the clutch from the other team as soon as he gets onto this point here. He brought down a little bit low. Thankfully, the rockets pushed him back. Nice little switch as well over to the rails to try and finish things off. That's going to push the guys from Team Johnson away, and now they're going to focus up on the power-up.
Impressive.
Yep, just power up. That was a good back off. Don't even worry about it for now. Just get the power up, go back, steal it, and get your win here in a moment.
Yeah, and it's on necrophages too, so it's the clutch that has control over it. This guy's basically going to be completely immune to damage at this point, or at the very least, he's going to be a very hard target to take down with that protection power. Not completely immune, but he can make this run easily while under fire from multiple enemies. And there you go. No one for the red team is close enough to deny this 100% run, so they complete it, and Team Johnson will win 2-0 again. A perfect 4-0 run from them, and they'll win the series 2-0.
Yeah, dominant fashion, dominant, very dominant. Just the only thing you can really say is, oh, they took the soul for, and capped it for about 10 seconds.